Hi everybody, welcome back to the wonderful Arma Reforger, and with all the change we've had recently, I thought I would do an updated for 2025 how to use the radio in Arma Reforger, as it is such an integral part of enjoying this game with friends and random squad mates as well. So first off, let's talk about how you do it on keyboard and mouse before I forget, before we move on to Gamepad for Xbox and PlayStation. So the first type of communication you have is proximity chat or direct communication, and this is controlled with T. So if you just press and hold T, your mic will be open, and players who are near you, friendly or foe, will be able to hear you talking. If you double tap T, you can have it on all the time. So you won't have, you can wander around and you can chat away, and people will be able to hear what you are saying. So this is the one you use when you're close to people and you just want to talk. It saves you having to be on Discord or things like that, and it works very nicely. And the further you're away from people, the quieter you will be. But as I say, remember the enemies will be able to hear you as well. Now, the other type of communication is radio communication, which is controlled with the caps button. Now, you have to press and hold this down. It's push to talk. You can't lock this on anymore like you used to be. And the idea behind this is it prevents you from having an open mic and ruining the radio for everybody else. However, there are different frequencies and different radios you can have. So what we can do is if we press G, we can bring up the radio selection and we can choose the channel we want to go to. And then we can press caps lock again and we can bring that up. Now, if we double tap on caps, it will just switch between the two channels. Now, the idea for this is that when you're in a squad, imagine, say you're the squad leader, you want to be able to talk to your squad mates, but you'll also want to be able to talk to other squad leaders and also the person, say the overall general who's in charge. But when you're talking to the other squad mates and the general, you don't want to be, the other squad leaders and the general, you don't want to be talking to your squad mates and all of their squad mates. So the squad leader will often be swapping between channels because he needs to talk to different people at different times. And the other thing that happens as well is you will want to change the frequency. So if you just hold your mouse cursor over the particular channel and go up and down with your wheel, you can change the particular frequency that you're going to be talking on. So each squad will have a different frequency, and channel 1 or channel 2, so you've got platoon channel and normal channel, and you can sort that out. The more you use it, the more you get used to it. And I guess the final aspect is if you equip the radio, which I think is 9 is the radio. Yeah, well, if you equip the radio, then you press and hold R. You can then look around and you can do the things we've just said just kind of by pressing F. So we could turn the radio on and off, and we can change the frequency, that sort of thing. But also you'll get a, I think they call it keying the radio. So especially in single player, you'll have the option to key the radio, and this is just where it goes ksh, so you can go ksh, 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 a bit like Morse code almost, and you can do that. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's go to let's unequip that. So let's just go to Gamepad now. So I'm using an Xbox Gamepad, but hopefully this will be similar for PlayStation. Right, so if we want to remember which control brings up the radio, if you just press and hold right on your D-pad and look in the bottom left-hand corner, we can see the different things that we have. And then for the radio, what we actually do is to talk, we press and hold top left shoulder button. So on Xbox, I believe this is LB. On PlayStation, I believe it's L1. So it's the top left bumper. We press and hold that. And as you can see, that's the radio. Now, if we want to do proximity chat or direct chat, all we do is just tap it. And that will just come on and it will stay on. It's kind of locked on. So I can chat away and I'm in proximity chat with everybody. And I tap it again and then it will go away. So tap it and it turns on proximity chat. Tap it and tap it off. Now the radio, just like when you're using keyboard and mouse, if we want to use the radio, we have to press and hold it. Again, it's push to talk. You can't lock it on. Again, the idea with this is that you don't accidentally have an open mic and ruin the radio for everybody else. And then if we want to change the radio, we then keep our finger on the top left shoulder button and then press X. And then we can go up and down with our right stick, and then we can press right trigger to select it. Or while we're pressing and holding top left shoulder button, so again LB for Xbox or L1 for PlayStation, we can press B. And then then we have to release the shoulder button, and when we go back in, it will go back to the other one. See, and that will change over that way. Now, when we're pressing X to do this, if we go up with our right stick, what we can do is if we go up and down on our D-pad, we can change the frequency. And again, this would say, okay, guys, we're going to 38.5, and then you would do that probably on the platoon channel, and it could be the other platoon leaders and the overall leader are on that one. Now, if we want to inspect the radio, what we need to do is bring up the radial menu by pressing right on the D-pad and holding it, and using our right stick to go to the radio, and then pressing the right trigger. So we're now looking at the radio, and then you press and hold Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation, and now we're looking at the radio. So all those things we've talked about, if we press X on Xbox, or I think it's square on PlayStation, you can then manually change things. And again, on single player scenarios, you will also get an extra option to key the radio, to give it a. And the idea for that is if you're in a stealth situation where somebody's talking to you and saying, okay, I just need to know whether you're ready for extraction or not. Key 1 for yes, key 2 for no. So you go or, and it's a little bit stealthier than if you were to say, yeah, Bravo, come and pick me up at whatever. Okay, so let's come out of that. Let's go back to our machine gun. And there we go. Hopefully that's been useful. Trust me, the more you use the radio, the kind of the easier it gets. In fact, I should have the radio out, shouldn't I? There he is. The easier it gets. It all seems a little bit complicated, but once you get used to it, it's an amazingly powerful tool, and it's an awful lot of fun. Anyway, if you found this video useful, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course, I'll see you again soon.